He pulled every dirty trick on me that was possible to play on another infielder, and he taught me a lot by that.
That was the angry voice of Phil Rizzuto, and this is Tops in Sports, a production of the United States Air Force. This is Harry Wismer, fans. You're about to hear a fresh and frank chat with Phil Rizzuto, one of the most famed Yankees of the past. But first, this important message.
Turn left 2 degrees, 006. Precision minimums, 1 mile from touchdown. You're 10 feet above glide path. On center line at the present time.
That's the sound of adventure. The sound of an exacting, satisfying career on the aerospace team. There's a place...
Folks, welcome to Vintage Baseball Reflections. I am Tom, the baseball nostalgia guy, bringing you these treasured pieces. Do you miss the good old days of listening to baseball through radios? It was a classic pastime that stood for decades and shaped how we cherish baseball and our heroes. These stories are from a moment in time that were heard by fans just like you. They are uncut, unfiltered, simply here for you to enjoy. So I just want you to enjoy this reflection on baseball history.
For you, up there among the leaders in the United States Air Force. Sure, the standards are high for an officer, but so are the rewards. How does your future shape up right now? Will there be foreign travel, a chance to develop your skills, a good income, annual 30-day paid vacations? Yes, if your future is that of an Air Force officer. In just 3 months, qualified men and women can earn that commission and start working on that bright future. So, if your aim is high, talk over an officer's career with your local Air Force recruiting officer. There's a place for leaders on the aerospace team.
On course, on glide path, approaching end of runway. Over end of runway, approaching touchdown.
For many years now, two of the smallest, scrappiest ex-major leaguers have been carrying a burning resentment within themselves. Recently, we had one of them, Ed Stanky, on the air to give his side of the story. Today, we have the other, Fightin' Phil Rizzuto. Phil, when Eddie Stanky was our guest recently, he brought up the famous play in which he kicked the ball out of your glove.
Well, Harry, I happened to hear that particular show with Eddie Stanky, and I was a little surprised at what Stanky said. First, he called me a great ball player, and then in the next breath, in 3 different sentences, he called me a dumb ball player, and he says, I repeat, a dumb ball player. Well, I had always respected Eddie Stanky because I remember when he first came up, Branch Rickey said he couldn't hit, field, run, or throw, but still he was a good ball player. And he could beat you in a lot of ways, and he had not as much ability as a lot of other ball players, but he made the most of it. On the particular play you're talking about, when Stanky kicked the ball out of my hand, I admit that it wasn't a smart play on my part, but still Stanky did kick the ball out of my hand. He was a good soccer player, and I was about 5 feet in front of second, and I did reach down with my glove, but he kicked the ball, and I never did say on that particular play that it was a dirty play by Stanky, because it was a smart play by Eddie, and he got away with it. But when I said that Stanky was a dirty ball player, I go back to the minor leagues, Harry. He pulled every dirty trick on me that was possible to play on another infielder, and he taught me a lot by that. I resented it at the time, but then I said I got to thank Stanky for something. He showed me what other players can do.
What were some of those so-called dirty tricks Stanky pulled on you?
I slid headfirst in a second one time, and he tagged me between the eyes with the ball, which he didn't have. I had 2 beautiful shiners. He'd come into second base with 2 hands full of dirt, and as he'd slide in, he'd throw the dirt in your face. He'd slide in and grab your trousers as you're trying to pivot for the double play, and you'd end up throwing the ball in left field, and you're trying to throw it to first base. Now, the remark Stanky made at the end of the program where he said he's got 2 boys, and if they play the way he does, he'll shake their hand. I have always said that if I have my boy grow up to be a ball player, I wouldn't want him to play the way Eddie Stanky did.
You seem to feel very strongly about this matter, Phil.
Now, I don't want to start a controversy, just as Eddie said, but he gave his viewpoint, and that's mine, Harry.
Well, that's how it should be, Phil. That was Phil Rizzuto, fans, a fellow who proves that a short man can go a long way when he has the determination. And this has been Tops in Sports, brought to you by the United States Air Force. This is Harry Wismer. Tops in Sports is written by Dick Young and produced by Brad Simpson for the United States Air Force in cooperation with this station.
They took the blue from the skies and the pretty girl's eyes and a touch
VintageBaseballReflections.com features a treasure chest of baseball audio. The wonderful thing is the audio isn't a guy like me or a few talking heads reflecting on players, seasons, or teams. It is the actual players from that era, announcers from that era, giving you an uncut, unfiltered, unrecent day stance on what it was like then. These are real-time clips from that era. Now, we encourage you to check out our entire back catalog of baseball audio. And if you like old-time games, and folks, you are not alone. Join the membership section to enjoy interacting with fans, scoring games with folks just like you, and listening to hundreds of radio broadcasts that were baseball classics. As a special offer to you, type in This Day in Baseball for a discount just for you. And if you enjoyed the show, hit the plus sign to subscribe, follow us on the socials, and above all, share us with your friends who love baseball history just like you.